Hi everyone, it's Joy, and this is the Ornamental Christmas bundle that I'm going to be using. This is an online exclusive, which means that it's not in the book. You can still order it. You can order it from me, or you can order it directly online from my web store. It has great stamps. They are red rubber. Um, this is the one that we're going to be using today. And so because they are red rubber and they are discontinuing red rubber, I can almost guarantee that this is going to go on the last chance list probably by the end of the year, if not next month. So if you like it, go ahead and get it. It has some fabulous dies. I'm going to be using some of those today. Um, I hope you caught my monochromatic Instagram hop today where I used the garden green. I used garden green and gold, and then the Forever plaid 3D embossing folder. That is one you can make with this, but this is not the card that we're going to make today. But I just thought I would show you that because it's a nice card, especially if you like the monochromatic green. So let's go ahead. We've got Ornamental Christmas, and then we have the great paper that goes with it. Oh yeah, that's side 2. Oh, I'm going to try to show you the A size, which is the sides with the gold foil. It is a specialty designer series paper. So it does have the gold foiling on one side, which is very, very pretty. We're going to use some of this today. And this one has some gold foiling. It's hard to see, but it does have some gold foiling on it. And of course this one, and this one has lots of gold foiling. It reminds me of Christmas wrapping paper, that one does. So let's go ahead and then let's flip them over. And then we have the B sides, which has some really nice black and white patterns. And you know, sometimes we don't think about using black and white for Christmas, but it does look very, very, very elegant. So let's go ahead. I am going to bring in the card we're going to make with this. So this is a power of 3. They call this technique the power of 3. So you have 3 pieces of embossing, not embossing, 3 pieces of designer series paper, 3 images, and 3 embellishments. So 1, 2, 3. So you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then of course we have the 3 gold stars. And then I added some of the ribbon, the gold striped ribbon. So just to make this nice and pretty. And you know, I normally would not have thought of putting black and gold together for Christmas, but it does look very elegant, you have to admit. So hopefully people will come on here and make some comments about this because I absolutely love your comments. I go ahead and I read every comment, and then I either react or I reply to your comment. So please go ahead, make comments, ask questions, you know, all kinds of things. I just love, 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 love your comments. So we're going to put that right up there, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So to start off, we have a half sheet of the basic white thick, because I like that for card bases. It is a little thicker, it is a little more substantial than your regular basic white. And of course it's a half sheet, and so this is 5.5 inches, half sheet of A2. So 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So you'll have to adjust this a little bit if you are in a market that uses centimeters. So again, 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and then scored at the 4 1/4 inch mark, which is half of 8.5. So let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and fold our card base in half. I'm going to go ahead and grab a bone folder, and there we have our card base. And then, oh hi! Yay, I'm so glad you're finally able to watch. Oh, let's see, we need an inside piece of regular basic white. No, we do not need an inside piece because it is white already. Oh, I'm so silly. We do not need an inside piece, scratch that, but we do need our card base and a piece of basic black, which is 3 3/4 inches, so 3 3/4 by 5 inches, so just right there at the 5-inch mark. And then we need some strips of that fabulous designer series paper with all the gold touches on it. So we have 3 strips here, and each strip is 1 inch by 4 3/4. So 1/4 of an inch less in length, because this is 5 inches, so these pieces are 4 3/4. So these are all 1 inch by 4 3/4. Excuse me. And we need a circle of basic black die cut out of that with those dies, those fabulous dies that are part of the Ornamental Christmas set. It does come with a circle that winds up being 2 7/8 inches, I believe is what it is. So let's go ahead and let's do some assembly. Let's go ahead and bring in some of our multi-purpose liquid glue. This will allow us, I could use my Stampin' Seal, but this will allow us to have a little wiggle room when we're putting these pieces on. We're going to put this piece on, and we're going to start out with this one. This will go at the top of our black layer. You don't want to get too close to the edge because the glue will ooze out. If it's a little too thick, just kind of thin it out with the tip. And we're going to try to get an even border around 3 sides. So that's where we need our wiggle room here, so that we can get an even border around. And then this piece is going to go on the bottom. We'll go that way. So we're just going ahead and putting this glue, not getting it too close to the edge. And then we're picking this up. And this is going to go on the bottom. We're going to do the same thing, get an even border around 3 sides. And we do have wiggle room with this. And so we're just shifting it until we get it with the even borders. This piece, I know this is really pretty. I could have done it this way too, but I decided to use the trees so that it would mirror my tree images, because the power of 3's is all about repetition, because repetition really does tie things together. When you do it in 3's or in odd numbers, it really is more pleasing to the eye. I'm going to pick this up, and this piece is going to go close to this piece, having an even border on the 2 sides, and then up the even border up next to that piece there. So as you can see, we have a little space here, and that's the space that I will fill with our ribbon here. This is the gold striped ribbon. This is also, you can find this online instead of in a book. This is a really great ribbon, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to tie my favorite faux bow. So many of you have seen this before, but it's always nice to have repetition. And then if you have not seen it, this is how you do it. Sometimes I have them pre-tied, but I'm just going to go ahead and do them for you this time. Cut it off. I did a 3-inch piece, a short piece of 3 inches. And then I'm going to do a long piece, and I'm going to do that at 7 inches. Now, you take your long piece and your short piece. First, your long piece, you're going to go ahead and wrap that around your finger like you're going to tie a knot, but you're not going to finish your knot. You're going to leave an opening there, and you're going to leave a really short tail here because we want it to go towards that edge. And now we're going to take the short piece and we're going to put that underneath that loop. We're kind of right in the middle of that loop. You can see that right there. And we're going to kind of sort of make sure it's half and half there. And then we're going to pull this and tighten this around the short piece. So we're tightening the long piece around the short piece. It does give you a little bit flatter bow. So if you're mailing this, that's a bonus. And then you can kind of pull to adjust and kind of get it however you want it. And then once it's how you want it, then you can attach it to your project. I'm going to pull out some glue dots. These are old glue dots, so they're, instead of being on the tail, they're on the roll. I'm going to put one on each end. So I'm just bringing the ribbon to the glue dot, pressing down, and then lifting off and making sure that that glue dot comes with the ribbon. So now we're just going to bring it over here. And I want my knot to be right about there. So we're going to wrap that around. And then we're going to wrap this side around. But this is going right into that space there. And then we have the ribbon here. And we're all ready to attach it to our card base. Oh, I'm going to use the black ones since we have the black cardstock. The black dimensionals are really great for dark cardstock. This one I did use the white, so you can sort of see the white in there, but when you use the black ones, it's not as obvious, that gap. So I go ahead and use these black ones. And, oh yeah, I need a couple in the middle. I use a lot of dimensionals, guys. You do not have to use this many. I do like to use a lot of them. And now we're going to bring in our Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to use the pointy end, and we're going to pluck those papers right off of there. This is great for those of you that have nails that it makes it hard to pick those papers off. This is a great way to do it. And it doesn't matter that you know, poke a hole in that dimensional. It just absolutely doesn't matter. Alright, now we're going to put this on our card base, and we're going to have a pretty large border around this because of how we did this, the size that we picked. So I'm going to try to get an even border all the way around. Now it's time to do a little stamping with our tree. So I have a piece I've already die cut, and I'm going to use the Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad. We're going to get it nice and inked. This one is a felt pad. I am pressing a little harder than I ever would with our Stampin' Up! Die inks because this one is not as squishy. And I am bringing the ink pad to the stamp. Just wanted to make sure there was a good coating of the ink. I'm going to stand up, so if my voice starts sounding a little bit different, that is why. And I'm going to try to get this straight. And we shall see. Did I do it? Yeah, pretty good. All right. So now, to save time, I went ahead and I stamped first and die cut on these two. So you can do it either way. You can die cut first and then stamp, or you can stamp and then die cut. That's, kind of up to you. And I have some gold stars here. Some of them, they're in this little package. And we're going to get them out. There's two of them. And where's the third one? I know it's here. It kind of got stuck in with my embellishments. So I went ahead and die cut 3 stars out of the gold foil. So if you have not used gold foil paper, it's absolute must. And of course I save my little, pieces, and I use them to cut out little things like the little stars. So gold foil is pretty paper, especially if you have some specialty paper with some gold foiling on it. Alright, go ahead and let's just attach these stars. Just going to put a little dab right on the very end. Whoops, I got way too much there. Way too much. I'm going to take a little bit of that off. And I have some, I did it with my thumb, so I have some on my thumb. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to do it that way. Now I have glue on my thumb, but hey, it's all part of crafting, getting messy. Alright, so here is one of them. Here's the other one. There's the other gold star. So we're just putting these gold stars on, right on the top. And then I'm going to attach all of these trees together with some dimensionals. Now since these are white, I am going to use white, and I want some white mini dimensionals. So let me find those here. Here we go. Here's some white mini dimensionals. So I need on my tree here. I'm going to put them right at the edge, and then another one part way up, because these are going to attach together. So we do have to attach our trees together and then put them on our circle. And of course, guys, you know I really like my dimensionals, so you can skip some of these dimensional steps if you wish. Okay, so one of these is going to go right about here. So I'm lining this edge up to this little nook right there. That's going to go there, and then this one the same on the other side. There we have it. The trees are all attached together. Now these need to attach onto this circle. I could absolutely just do them flat, but you know me, I love lots and lots and lots of dimension. So I am going to add some more dimensionals to this. And I'm going to add one right down there. And one in the middle there. And one about here. I don't need them on the very tips right here. You need them a little bit over because these will be hanging off the circle. these are going to hang out the circle too, so don't get too far up. Then one right there. Now, let's see, what else? Probably one here and one here. Now I need some places where I'm going to double up on some dimensionals. So these in the middle here need double dimensionals so that the height is all the same on where you've put dimension. I don't know if you guys do this, but I love doubling up. Now you're going to think I'm really crazy because on these stars right here, right up there, I'm going to triple them. Can you believe that? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Take the papers off. Put a second one on. And then a third one. That's because I'm going to put dimensionals underneath this one too. So again, you do not have to put near, oh, you know what, I'm going to leave those on. Those papers need to stay on for now. These papers can come up. The star papers need to stay on for a minute. These are coming up. And now, this is going to go on this circle. Okay, so this circle, I messed up when I die cut, so there's one edge that's a little flat. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so the flat edge there needs to go down here. I could barely tell that there was even a flat edge there. Alright, there we go. Now we have our pieces here, and we're going to go back to the black ones. Where are they? And lots of dimensionals. And one in the middle. And now it's time to put this element, this focal piece, onto our card base. So, hi everyone, and if you joined late, you can absolutely go back and watch the replay. And then usually a few weeks later, it also shows up on my YouTube channel, which is, that's a YouTube stamp with Joy Nelson. So if you miss it, if you don't watch the replay in 30 days, then it should be showing up on my YouTube channel because I do download and then upload my videos to YouTube. Alright, let's go ahead and let's just put this, we're going to try to get this straight. I'll put that right about there. And as you can see, that's why I needed all of those triple dimensionals there, because Joy really, really, really loves dimensionals. So far we've got our 1, 2, 3 different designer series papers. We've got our 1, 2, 3 images, and now we need our 1, 2, 3 on our embellishments for the power of 3. So these are the iridescent foil gems. I really love these. They're so pretty. Get our putty back on the end here. Sometimes it gets a little squished. So we need one of these to go down here, right about there. We need a couple more to go up in here. I'm trying to find ones that have lots and lots of gold in them. So there we have that. Now we can trim the ends of our ribbon. And just going to trim it at an angle here. And then try to match that angle down here. I think let's go this way. Alright, come on. Alright. Sometimes these ends are hard to grab a hold of. Well, there we have it. We have our trimmed ribbon. This is the front of our card. Now we need to add a little something to the inside of our card. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to switch my stamps out. I'm going to put this one, because this one still needs to be cleaned. I'm going to stick this one on the outside of my case so that I know it still needs to be cleaned. And I'm going to grab the Merry Christmas from the inside. There's some leftover circles that I have. And this Merry Christmas is going to go on this block. This is a D block. And I'm going to put, oh, first, I think I'm going to put a little strip of gold here. I found a little strip of gold. I'm going to put that on the inside first. Again, not getting too thick with my glue. And I put this on the inside, and there's just going to be a tiny little bit to trim off here. Just a little tiny bit. And now I can do my, yeah, I have a piece here. I'm going to, since I haven't stamped this in black before, I'm going to stamp it and test it out on some scratch paper first. Maybe do it a couple times, kind of get it seasoned with ink a little bit. I don't know if you do that, but I like to do that. I like to do it and get it kind of a little bit seasoned with ink before I commit to my project. Just get good coverage, just tap, tap, tapping on that. And I'm going to try to center between the gold and the edge and hopefully get this straight. And then hold it there for a minute so that the ink absorbs into the paper. All right, beautiful. Look at that. Now we have a very, very elegant card. And you know, you can use this technique and use any designer series paper you have, use any images you have. And if I would have left off the gold stars, I, you know, really could have, this could have been a different kind of a card. It would not have had to have been a Christmas card if I would have left the stars off. So go ahead, use your imagination, and I'll just bring in so you can take a peek back at my monochromatic card that I made with this bundle. And so that's how you do the power of 3. And until next time, bye.